Hi, I'm going to be doing today talking while I'm working on balancing because I'm just on balance more. Um, so yeah, I had a really interesting week. I had my first week of classes as an actual grad student, which is freaking crazy. Um, so I had a lot of insight into the type of professor that I want to be one day. I only had two of my four classes this week, but I learned a lot actually. Just from seeing how they teach. So my stats professor is pretty boring. In that this is the biggest difference I noticed between the teachers. He doesn't really seem to have a grasp on his own understanding of how he wants to teach. In that he was just like garbling the whole time. He was like blah, 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 blah. Like he was like on like six coffees. He was wired, and so it kind of felt like um, he wasn't calm, And I think what's very clear is the energy that you feel is very much radiated from the energy that the professor teaches. So the stats teacher was very much like, no phones, no, like he seemed like one of those like a little more tweaky. Um, and my second class, my econ class, that class is sick. I'm so excited for that. But the way he was like, I don't care, if you can't come, you can't come. Try. It was more like he knows the value he brings to the table. If you know what you're doing here, you will come to that class, which just makes me want to go. Like you're like, okay, you respect yourself enough not to belittle the value that you bring just so you get some sort of outcome, and you say it how it is. And he's like, I love this subject. Like it very much radiated how much likes econ, and you can tell that he's good at what he does. And so for me, so I feel like there's not an objective teaching style. It depends on the type of student you are. Some people may have liked that stats teacher more. So I think the type of student I am, which is I very much. So I was thinking a lot about just why I'm not a good student because I'm not a good go to school, sit, listen, write notes, read your notes, do well in tests. I'm not that, and that's just not that's not why I like school. So this week, spend some time thinking, what about school do I like? I like the people. What about the people? I feel like people at university, this second time around, everyone here is an intellect to some extent. So it's like you're never really you're always at home when you want to have intellectual conversations because everyone does. And that's a fantastic feeling. So it's a really good community where everyone's talking about really cool stuff. And so I like that. I'm getting better at this. I like that. I'm about to shave my head in maybe a week next weekend. Um, because I feel very accepted here in that no one knows me, no one cares about me. In that way, you're always accepted. If no one really knows you, you can do whatever you want, no one cares. And I think that's big. I think when you get to start your life over, you can kind of just do things that you've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to just be bald. I don't like having hair, honestly. For the reason being, I want to be as constant as possible, right? I want to be like any high, low. And I feel like with hair, it's like the way you look is completely different based on how your hair looks. And I just feel like that's whack. I don't want to look good some days and bad the other days. I just want to look the same every day. So you know what to expect. It's never up, down, oh, it's my hair, boom, just straight. And I don't like that, um, kind of that variance that happens with my look. So I'm definitely gonna go bald. Excited for that. I just paid $40 for this haircut, so I'm like, all right, I'll let it last until at least the fade goes away, and then the fade is. He cleaned it up. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna have a good week of no fap, of working out. So let me get back to school. Yeah. So um, let's see. So yeah, I'm not good at Hey, that was a good recall. Actually, I don't normally do that. But yeah, so I'm not good at sitting and taking notes and all that. But outside of the students, I like the environment. I like learning, right? So learning in a structured way. So I do like to some extent being okay, I should be in class, or at least following the schedule of having that class, and then having something to show for it that I actually finished, right? Being able to say I am a student, saying at the end that I graduated from it. That stuff I like because it's like actually useful as opposed to just like learning on Coursera or something where it's like learning, but like I can't really like be like, boom, this is what I did with it. So I do like the ability to have that knowledge actually transfer to something just based on the label. But I wonder why I like that. Um, is it because like I like the clout that comes with like saying some of these keywords as opposed to like actual the knowledge itself? That's definitely probably the case. Um, but so I guess like the end goal maybe is like to be accepted and like, but being educated, like knowing a lot is like my secondary goal. But my main goal is to be accepted. So I feel like even though I do want to learn a lot, I want to be accepted because I learn a lot. So like, because the question would be like, okay, if I like learning, why go to school? Why not just do that alone and work too? Then you can learn even more, which is a good question. The only reason would have to be, I mean, okay, so let's say, like, what are some of the advantages? I mean, yeah, meeting people, but you can do all of those things. You know, you can just show up to campus or show up to these classes, and you don't have to actually be at this school if you really were about it. Um, so the only thing I could not do, like, I mean, yeah, you can lie, but like, without lying, the only thing I could not do is like write that in my resume, and I guess like have the email. But like the classes I could go to, the people I could meet, the knowledge I can learn, the professors I can work with, the labs I can work with. So I guess the thing is, outside of just perception, there is a certain amount of like, I mean, yeah, the perception does really shape how someone does view you. Um, but let me get back so before I tangent too much. This balancing thing is making me not focused. But yeah, man, this week has, these 3 weeks have like just taught me a lot of introspection, a lot of sobriety, a lot of being alone, which has just kind of, made me really question a lot of things. But I'm getting like better at just being alone and like not minding it. So, you know, with the school thing, I'm really excited to like do some of these classes and like kill it, like kill it. But at some point, I need to start working, and I don't know if I really want to work. Like, I would not mind teaching, like, just across the entire world, like, just country to country, teach math, English, and then just, keep moving, keep it going. Like, there are pros and cons to that lifestyle. Con, I won't settle down. So, like, what is the, deal with that? Like, why isn't life really that great with a significant other? I don't know. Like, I don't know what is the hype with that. Um, I think it comes back to what is the point of life? Like, is the point of life comfort? If comfort is the point, then yes, it does make life quote unquote better if comfort is a goal. If accomplishment is a goal, then some relationships could lead someone to accomplish more than they could have alone. That is definitely true. From my experience, I would say more relationships don't lead to that. Because a lot of relationships, you get comfortable, you're like, oh, why do I need to accomplish so much? Why do I need to do so much? But at the same time, you can have such a power couple where both people inspire each other to do more than they would have alone. And I think is the sweet spot. And another one is everyone's going to have down days, and you can have someone basically like cover your shift on those days. Basically, is kind of what a relationship is. So, but that's not a sexual dating relationship. That can be those two things I just said could be done by friends and everything. Really, the only thing a relationship, in the way we have defined it, can give you that friends or it can't is like sex. And I mean, even that I don't even know. But so the thing is, you know, those 3 weeks I spent with Umar, like that was good. Like, um, just good companionship, everything that you'd want in a relationship. Like we took care of each other, we helped each other, we really like looked out for each other. It was like a teamwork. We really like worked together to get that road trip through, and that was lit and amazing. So like 2 weeks on the road is honestly nuts. So, like, I think if I can get over the sexual thing, which huge, you know, 5 years ago, I would not recognize who I am today. From high school, senior year of high school, if he met me and was like, "What, you don't want to have sex anymore? What's wrong with you?" Um, you know, I went down the rabbit hole today, and it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know whether I'm doing a good job or not in an objective sense. I mean, you can always tell yourself you're doing a great job, but like, at what point do you actually know whether you are or not? And like, what is a good job? But like, even if you define something as a good job, like, how do you know whether you're even doing that? Before we even get to the question of like not defining it at all. Um, but from a subjective perspective, which would just be a personal one, how do I feel like I'm doing? I feel like the days where I'm not fat masturbating, that's it. It's a great day. That's it. If I just don't do that one thing, great day. Like, I killed it. So you got to do a little more analysis on that. I think I do have a lot of like body, like affirming my body issues, which I have to do a lot of work of. Just like being like, okay, I don't need to be super swole or super fast or super athletic to um, love your own body. But the point is not like, do you love your body? Like, I mean, that's maybe 1/4 of it. I would say the other 3/4 is, does your body actually, function at a high level, which to me seemed more important than like, do I love my body? Like, loving your body is key. You don't want to have a functional body and not love your body. So I guess, okay, if we could wedge it, one wedge would be 25% love your body, 25% be appreciative of your body, which is not loving your body. Is it? Is loving being appreciative? I don't know. What? Let me think. What does it mean to love? Being appreciative makes a little more sense. Like, okay, being like thankful, grateful, there are things you can say, like, feel it, right? Like, really feel how your muscle feel how your stretches feel your body, appreciate the fact that it's all working. But what does it mean to love your body? Yeah, I guess maybe appreciating is love. So, okay, let's not do wedges. So let's put that one wedge. Appreciate your body. That should be like, okay, I got one. Appreciating it through your thoughts, being like, thank you, body. Thank you. 25. But another 25 is like really appreciating it through like showering it with love, stretching, working out, yoga. I would say that's like 50%. That's another form of appreciation, but appreciation through like your actions, not through your thoughts. So appreciation through thoughts, 25, through action, 50. And then 25 of it has to be some sort of drive of wanting better. So like looking at somebody or some ideal goal and being like, that's where I want to get to. If you're fully content, that drive passion part never comes. So like maybe 25% of that passion where it's like, okay, I'm going to get to that point. So balancing that, I think, is key. So it's cool that that distinction between appreciation through thoughts and appreciation through action, I think, is a key difference. Okay, cool. So you know I want to be, love my body and really just be like, okay, like, I think that's one aspect of the nofap thing that like is one of the root issues. Like, I have to love my body, and I think a lot of that comes from like I want to love my body, but I don't. So that place makes me feel like I do. That's one. And I think that's why, like, growing up, I liked women so much. It was like not them, but the fact that they made me feel like whole and appreciated and wanted. Like, it had nothing to do with that being. And I feel like those are all things I can work on alone. And like, work on, what does that mean, right? Like, how do you work on your issues? I think just like meditating and like talking to yourself, like really changing your thought patterns is what working on yourself means. Like, how do you actively do that? Like, what is the difference between someone who's actually working on themselves and someone who's not? And that's a good question I think I need to ask myself more. Because it's like anyone can say I'm working on myself, like, you know, that there's no like, how do you show, or what does that mean, right? So the thing is, you don't need to show anyone else, but you need to show yourself. So how do you show yourself that you're working on yourself? What does that even mean? You need to show up for yourself every time. Every time you told yourself like I'm gonna do this, like so I guess like I doubt myself. Like I say something, but I'm not even 100% sure whether that's gonna go down, which is a huge problem. Like if I say something out of anyone else, I should believe that it's gonna go down. Hmm. So that's how you can work on yourself. Just show up for yourself. Like be there when you need you, right? You're sick. Like do that. Okay, so here's something I was thinking about. What is the separation of self and like, are there two me's? Like, okay, is there one me that's like the eternal Gautam at all times, and then there's another me that's like the Gautam at that moment, right? Because like I'm connected to who I was when I was 5, but I'm not who I am when I was 5. You know, my thoughts are different. My body's different. Everything is different, but I am the same person. So is there two me's? One that's like eternal Gautam, and then one that's just temporary Gautam, and those two need to have a connection. So when I'm talking to myself, so let's say, how are you feeling today, Gautam? I don't know which one is talking to which. Can I even get in touch with the eternal Gautam? I don't know. But long story short, man, I'll cut it 16 minutes. I'll come back again. This week has been, you know, these 3 weeks being alone and really like having time and a lot of growth for sure. I don't know how it can be measured exactly. I guess you can't. So I guess there's no point in saying growth because you're not really growing, I guess. I don't know how that works. I guess you're always just present, so there's no growth. I don't know. But yes, I don't even know if I want to say it. I've grown a lot. Growing has a positive connotation, but I don't know if you're ever changing in a positive. You'll never know whether you're actually changing in a positive or not. Like you can't grow, like it's called decaying if it's negative and growth if it's positive. So it's like, but so growing is not the right word. I'm just changing. But like even then, it's like, am I changing or did the environment just change? So my reaction to that, like if I was put in the same environment as I was 6 weeks ago, like I would probably do the same thing. Like so, I guess I don't know. I guess yeah. I mean, something feels like it's changed, but I don't know what. But we'll keep it coming. I'm proud of you and I love you.